Do, 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 do. A second. Get this show on the road. Okay. Let's go. Dramatic music over. All right. Do, 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 do. Move along, move along. Move along now. You rusty fellow. Right.
Let's keep quiet.
Sneak. Ida.
Were you looking for someone in that tree? I could introduce you.
That's Matt Mercer's voice. Looking for anyone who can help me feel better.
He gives an understanding nod as he takes a long drag from his pipe. My condolences. He exhales and turns his attention away, watching the village around him. Oh no. The man smiles broadly. Welcome to our lovely village. It's like this is the way. Okay. Ooh, shrooms. Settler's arrow. That. Wait. Oh. All right. What the fuck? Can I not go in here? Okay. Feel Phaleon. As you near, you feel a vibrant history contained in the essence of this man's soul. Voices from its past seem to call out to you. Reach out for the soul, step back. Just do it. You see a pennant, waving tall and sluggish in the wind, a rising sun embroidered on the banner, the vanguard of a small troop of paladins. The atmosphere is buoyant, if restrained, and their armor has not yet been tarnished by the elements. This expedition is fresh, young, filled with zest and zeal. At their head stands a commander, awkward in full armor but determined in step. Despite the excitement of his fellows, he does not smile. There's a twist to his mouth, his countenance grim. He throws up a hand, halting his troop. Silence falls among them, revealing a dark thunder, deep and low. He orders them to ready their weapons and spread out. Eyes dart from the horizon to horizon, necks twisting to see the source of the sound. In the distance, dust and lightning rise from the ground as Stygian clouds race towards them overhead. The soldiers stand, only the staccato movement of their breath betraying their nerves. The commander closes his eyes, calling a blessing down on his troop. Invigorated, invincible, they wait as the enemy draws closer, poised to attack. Strange. Beneath the vines are crude carvings of a sun rising over 3 stars. Temple of Eothas. I want to get into that tree. Scattered between the roots are bracelets of twine and bead, wilting flowers and notes half erased by the rain. Blood moss. Angry townsman. I lost. You see 4 people gathered by the door to the inn. Their raised voices and chopping gestures suggest an argument reaching its climax. The first figure raises his hands for calm. His face is partially obscured by a hood, but his height and stature suggest an elf.
I meant no offense. Let's put this matter to rest over a round, shall we? My treat.
Also Matt Mercer.
Hoping to soothe our pride with a few Adira coppers, eh? We don't need your coin.
See everyone come on. Ooh, a fight. One of the other men points at the hooded elf. His eyes are red from drink, but his gaze is focused. Mocking us even while he shelters in our village. Just goes to show you what these fancy Aedarin manners are worth. We don't take that kind of treatment, not from foreigners, and especially not from Aedarins.
Go on, say it again. I'm itching for an excuse.
Fie, you're itching for the kindling touch of your sister, you cocksfeather!
I'll cut that barrel-licking tongue out of your head.
This is a misunderstanding. I didn't say whatever it is you think I said. We've nigh quarrel.
That's where you're wrong.
That's where you're wrong. I don't think attacking is such a good idea. Back down, all of you. This is absurd. This is unnecessary. Wouldn't you rather be inside drinking than out here, are you? You're not going to take that from him, are you? We don't want your charity either, foreigner. They squint at you through red, blurry eyes. It sounds suspiciously like you're defending him. Of course. As the last of the attacker falls, the elf turns to you, the tension almost gone from his smooth face.
Not quite how I hoped to get to know the neighbors. Thank you for your timely assistance with that awkward situation. Courtesy is a rare pleasure in these parts. Though your accent suggests that you are no more local than I.
He straightens his hood, and you note the remains of fraying embroidery on his gloves. His boots are caked with the dirt of many months' travel, but the leatherwork beneath it is sturdy and fine.
Well, I suppose introductions are in order after that little fiasco. Aloth Corvisor, at your service.
Tell me
I'm a
about
wizard by training, and an adventurer by necessity. I was born in the Seathwood, part of the mainland of the Adir Empire, and both of my parents served the nobility, which afforded me an education for which I am grateful. However, there were no open positions in those houses, and so I decided to seek new means in a new land. And how exactly did you come to be here?
I was travelling with a caravan, but we were separated near some ruins.
In Gwithan Ruins? Oh, those can be dangerous places during the best of times, which these are not. And half the locals would arrest you for trespassing, and the rest would kill you outright. I'm curious, what exactly did you find there?
A firework. Aloth goggles at you silently, apparently assessing your earnestness. Finally, he gives you a clipped, awkward laugh.
You do manage to find yourself in rather interesting predicaments. I'm afraid that was a matter of misunderstandings and mistranslations. It doesn't help that people in these parts remember their war with Adir like it was yesterday.
You did tell that one man to go fuck his sister. You did make a rather lewd suggestion regarding one of the Krishas, and go this one. Ah, that. He clears his throat and adjusts his sleeves. As I tried to tell them, they misheard me. Happens all too easily after a few pints, and the accent doesn't help. Oh, shit. I heard the same thing. For just a moment, he looks as if he's about to say something else. His expression brightens with mischief, but before he can speak, he forces a tight smile, biting his lip so hard you expect to see blood. Finally, his face relaxes and he shakes his head. I should speak more clearly next time. My apologies. So smooth. What are you doing in the Gilded Vale?
Excellent question.
He forces
I came looking for fresh air and cheap land. Instead, the magistrate gave me directions to the inn and a story about the local lord's expectant wife. But I take it that's a familiar tale.
Aloth. And you?
Indeed. The local lord has searched far and wide for similar specialists, and has rid himself of them almost as desperately.
He nods at the gnarled old tree in the center of town. His darting glance takes in the tumble-down buildings and the fallow, rock-strewn fields. I expect that such expertise would be best sought elsewhere. You don't exactly look like a settler.
Begging your pardon, but neither do you. Yet, circumstances can find a person in the strangest of places.
I should get going.
As should I, given recent events. It's just as well. I've had enough of the watered wine and lumpy beds at the inn. They say even the owner tired of the place. Just up and left one day. It explains quite a lot about the upkeep. Perhaps I could join you. I could use a change of scenery, and I find it's better to travel in numbers.
Okay.
Excellent. I shall follow you.
2 wizards. Just, you know, walk into town and kill some people. The Black Hound. I need to sell my stuff and rest. Villager. Thought this place was going under after the owner left, but it's held out. Good to see new faces round. Feels like the villagers get smaller by the day. Pasca.
How do you do?
Oh, greetings and welcome to the Black Hound Inn. The innkeeper bows her head curtly. Please, sit where you like. Would you like a drink or a room? We have 2 available at the moment. I'm afraid we can't offer much by way of a good meal today, she sighs, unless you're fond of cold porridge. Could I see what you have for sale? Aloth opens his mouth but seems to reconsider. Nothing for me, thanks. Of course, we're running a little short on goods these days, but we ought to have some more soon. Then comes the raid. Beer, milk, grain, and camping supplies. Well, I'm good on camping supplies. Wonder if I can sell stuff here. 20 copper. Club. Huh. Well, I got that new helm. Recovery speed 30. Medium armor. Big armor. Small shield. Heat deflection. Like this game music is 50 millions. Okay. Let's see. Okay, well, I gotta finish the transaction first. What if we can add more? Nope, that's it. Alright, trade. Bow. Oh wait, we want the torch. Polex. Rapier. Spear. Axe, shield, mace. Helmets. Scale armor. Is it just loot to sell? I wonder if I can use that in crafting. I might hold on to that actually. Till I know for sure. Trade that. Ooh. Alright. Trade. Let's do this music. There you go. Needs louder. No, you got party members. Yeah, well, I got picked up a wizard. I picked up Matt Mercer, the wizard. See, there he is. Look, Matt Mercer. My first two party. Oh, well, you know, the first two party members
traveler.
died. All right, we need. I'd like to know more about the Blackhound. Really? Well, let me see. The actual building's been here for years, but the Blackhound's fairly new. We get a lot of new faces in here too. Fewer than we used to, I'll admit. I used to work the tables, actually, until the old owner up and left. Nobody's sure what happened to him, even left his poor hound behind. That's the name, see? The Blackhound? It's still sitting upstairs, pining after him. Poor old girl. Place ended up in my hands somehow, she laughs. My very own inn. A lot of hard work involved, but it's been worth it so far. I could use some reliable help. Do you know of anyone looking for work? Oh, well, I wouldn't say I can speak from experience, but we do have certain sorts coming by looking for work from time to time. If you want to hire someone on, I'll be happy to send them your way. Let me see what I have to work with. Level 1 adventurer. Like I can hire an adventurer for 250 CP. Interesting. Oh, let's learn about that. Party management into... In the party management screen, you can see what your allies are up to in the party, recalling a companion or adventure for a mission before it is completed. Will forfeit all of the potential words for... Oh, you can send people away to do... jobs? Interesting.
Good day, stranger.
You only serve porridge? Aloth looks at you and shakes his head quickly. It isn't by choice, I assure you. We used to serve some of the finest meals in the Drywood. We've had a damnable run of luck, that is all. It's been a bad season for the crops, and we're running low on supplies. I sent Tenfrith up north to stock up. Tenfrith's our cook, you see, an artist with a good roast, but it's been days since he was supposed to return, and we haven't seen any sign of him. On the road we saw that wagon. She sighs again. I've only just taken over from the last owner myself. I don't know what I'll do if he doesn't turn up. I could try to find him for you. Really? Her face brightens. I'd be grateful to you if you did. He was travelling through the Valwood. It's probably nothing. A broken wheel, maybe. But I do worry. You see him safely home, and I think everyone in here would sing your praises. Nobody much likes my porridge. Should be eating corn fritters. Oh, I'd like a room. Of course, we keep them nice and tidy. Labourer's Rest, 110 CP. Lasts for 2 rests, plus 1 perception on mechanics. Drywood's Pride. Lasts for 2 rests, and it gives plus 2 resolve. Common room. Nothing. I mean, I'm a noble, but I'm not rolling in it. Do I want stats? I don't even know if... I don't even care about stats right now. Alright, we're just gonna go cheap. Rest. Uh-oh. Your sleep is restless and fevered, assaulted by hisses and whispers, blanketed with a suffocating anxiety. You open your eyes to awaken and find yourself in front of Gilded Vale's gallows tree, the creaking of its ropes growing louder in your mind until the sound is deafening. Hanging from the tree is an old dwarf woman whose face is shriveled inwards like mouldering fruit. Her head hangs limply to one side. As you look at her, she looms larger and larger in your mind until she is mere inches from your face. Suddenly her head snaps up and her eyes open, and they are empty, and behind them is a vast nothingness that makes your stomach drop. Her mouth slowly parts, and with a gust of rancid air she speaks a word. Whatcha? Whatcha up to, mate? You jolt awake, the foul smell of the dwarf woman's breath still permeating your nostrils. Sweat runs down your face in thick droplets, and your skin is soaked from head to toe. You remember the woman. You remember seeing her decaying face when you spoke with the magistrate. He called her an animancer. Though it fills you with a new, queasy apprehension, you feel a strange compulsion to see this woman once more, if only to confirm she is truly dead. Oh, you got experience for that. Find the dwarf woman from the dream, okay. That owner has probably been eaten by large insects, and his midsection is likely incubating some kind of largy. I'm gonna hire this adventurer, because I want to see what happens. Yeah. Oh, nice. You can make a character. Alright, people. Let's make a dude. Anyone have any preferences? We could go full elf party. Oh yeah, and then within each one, every race has alternate options. So there's even like different kinds of humans. Fancy that. Not all humans are white, garbage man. Oh yeah, there's godlike, that, you know, they've got the... You're like these ones curated, they don't procreate. No children. I don't know if that means no fun times, but no children. Ooh, not Avatar, okay. Alright, well, let's, dwarf. You want a dwarf? We've got... Godlike looks fun. Hunting. Borrowed dwarves gain a +15 accuracy against any creature of the wilder or primordial types. Mountain dwarves have a bonus to defend against poison and disease attacks. Well, what's the perk here for dwarf? Resolve and might. We've got split opinions. These guys are dexterity and intellect. I mean, you know, anyone could be anything. Yeah, I'm not going for Boreal. These guys look better. Plus the stats are better. They do, they look like little moldy fellas. Hey bro? Hey bro? You wanna take me, bro? Come on, Guzzy. Come on, bro. Look at me, I can spin. Spin on the spot like a professional, ow. Oh, see you later, cuz. Yeah, too moldy. But this guy, we can make barbarian. So yeah, a lot of classes: barbarian, chanter, some sort of like buff, debuff chanting. That impression, I can't tell you the amount of disgust I feel. and I'm not even doing it as bad as I could do it. No druid. No monk. Got 2 wizards in the party right now. Rogue. Ranger. Priest. I mean, there's gonna be other people to pick up. Dwarf Paladin? Faith and Conviction. Paladins have an inherent bonus to all their defenses. Over the course of the game, the value of this bonus may shift based on the reputations that the Paladin gains relative to the behaviors of their. I mean, I'm looking at a frontliner right now because I got 2 wizards, so like a Paladin, I can, you know, sure. But I was gonna go Barbarian. All right, we're gonna go Barbarian because fighters are boring. Okay. Oh. It's out a terrifying yell, frightening enemies in the area of effect. 2 per encounter. AoE frightened for 12 seconds. Accuracy versus will. Frenzy. User +4 might, +4 constitution, 30% attack speed, -10 deflection. Okay, so that's your standard. Yeah, we'll go with Frenzy. 1 per encounter. How long does it last? 12 seconds? They're both 12 seconds. Alright. Get some meat. Go Barbarian or Warrior. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We need meat. Highly recommended for Barbarians. No shit. Oh man, it can go high. Okay, these are the 2 main stats. Also recommended. Recommended for Barbarian. Because it's will. So these are the main stats for Barbarians. Got 2 points. So might gives us fortitude bonus, but the moan and this constitution gives a fortitude bonus. This is some defense, dexterity, reflex, action speed. Ooh. +4 for damage and healing. In combat, it contributes to accuracy, the reflex defense, and grants a bonus to interrupt. In combat, house characters maintain concentration, contribute to the will and deflection defenses. Because I can reduce stats too. This must be for the shout. The area of effect and the duration would be for that shout effect. Will defense and influences durations and area of effect for all abilities and talents. So, I mean, I could forego. Get more action speed. Yeah. I don't really know 100% of this, you know, how this game plays out anyway, so I'm just guessing. I think you can purchase you can come back in to reset stats and stuff before like 150 copper or something. Yeah, it's trial and error. So I'm not too worried, I'm just trying to decide. 1 point. There we go, that'll do. Culture. One of these is more dwarf world. The living lands. Oh yeah, we get stats for these, so we could go living lands for more might. The living lands are home to an assortment of races and a variety of colonial and independent settlements. Oh, and you get gear from their background or their culture. Yeah, starter gear. Dreadfire, double two-handed sword, +1 dexterity. Pirate-infested islands that stretch along the southern sea. Dreadfire is home to the boreal dwarves, Amura, and a mixed variety of other races. Alright, we'll go this one. For that barbarian kit. Although this is just as good. +1 might. Yeah. Heavy armor. Brings this thing up to 19. Oh, here we go. Law, survival, athletics, mechanics, law, mechanics. Law, mechanics, athletics, law, stealth, survival. Stealth, mechanics. He doesn't have to be smart, he just has to be strong. Yeah. Well, the thing is, the way the stats and the skills break down, there's a lot of cross. It's not as straightforward as I'm used to, say, with Dungeons and Dragons. How the stats, like, you would think, you know, might, oh yeah, this is what you use for barbarians and fighters, but no, might determines also the damage that spells do as well. So yeah, it's not so straightforward. Well, it is in its own way, but anyway, survival. If I remember rightly, survival. Yeah, we'll just go survival. It's for like jumping and stuff. Or maybe athletics is. Blade in battle is your way of life. You solve your problems by pulling out your weapon and applying force. You're part of a group that founded a fledgling colony in a distant land. Oh, that'll do. Colors. Garbage colors. We're staying red. Skin. Facial. Oh, we got facial hair features. Okay, we're on 11 right now. This is great. Where's the mohawk? There it is. You knew it was coming. So hot, yeah. I'm tempted, but I don't want it to get annoying. Alright, let's go back to the Mo for a sec. We're gonna look at the facial hair again. Um... 7 for facial. This one? Yeah, it's alright. I'll take suggestions. Okay. He's a savage. Right. See if we can find a portrait that fits. Probably won't be an exact. We're in the chicks right now. Go back to the start. Yeah. Oh, that'll do. Okay. Oh, your voice.
Hey there.
That's Matt Mercer.
Watch and learn.
No, wait, that's Taliesin Jaffe.
I'll teach you a lesson!
Keeping an eye out. What is it? Now I am the leader of the group. A blade in the dark.
I'm here. I'm flattered.
Stand together! Steady does it.
Yeah. Follow me. Let's go!
I've got this.
Let's go! Just say the word. I'll lead the way. You're mine. Ready when you are.
Leading the way. Sharp eyes and keen ears.
Yeah? Follow me.
Yeah!
Jim is spicy.
Yes.
My eyes are peeled. Quickly and quietly.
Yes,
Huh?
are you actually suggesting this voice?
Time
Feisty?
to see and not be seen. Yeah?
Right. I was just gonna call him Red the Beard, but are we suggesting we call this the Garbage Dwarf or something? The Garbarian. Garbarian. No, call him Alf. No, I'm gonna call him Alf. Alf. Okay. Alf. Alfalfa. Alfresco. Done. Milk. Milk and wheat. Nice. Good to see a new face. Oh, we already talked. Already had some. I wish we had some minstrels in here. Nice and dry. There's no one seen Pearly around. He's usually drinking his head off this hour of the day. Hope it's not one of the guys outside who's dead. And who are you then? Another fool come to answer Redrick's invitation? Oh, right lord, had my sister run out of town after the boy was born. She was the only family I had left. Not sure where she is now. Blazes, I need another drink. The food here's been awful lately. I think the rats have gotten into the larder. You just come into town? Kith like you seem to do alright. Selena Vertivo. As you near, you feel a vibrant history contained in the essence of this woman's soul. Voices from its past seem to call to you. I've had this before. You see a woman emptying her satchel onto her bed, taking stock of her inventory. Potions, bandages, tinctures, and herbs are scattered throughout her room, haphazardly. She bites her lip, head tilted to the side, considering. She begins to repack. one item after the other. Careful deliberation undercut by shaking hands. Each item has a clearly marked place, but no matter how she repacks it, she isn't satisfied. The shaking worsens as she empties it out once more, one hand held to her mouth. Tears eke from her eyes as she gives up all semblance of order and shoves everything she can in the satchel, grabbing it and running out of the bare house. Straightening her back, she walks to the docks, chin high, eyes hard and red. A gangly young elf offers his condolences, but she can't see him for the ocean ahead of her. She wanders the docks, offering her services as a doctor to any who will listen, anyone heading out on high tide. Less than an hour later, she watches her childhood disappear in the distance, a tiny speck of an island, and tries not to jump. Cast the soul by its Strum Brightblade. As you near, okay, here we go. You see a group of young men standing around a makeshift practice target. This man stands in the middle of them, explaining the construction and use of a bow. He holds it up, pointing out each part as he speaks about it and what it does. He then walks away from the target, telling them to remain where they are, and takes his place about 200 feet away. He carefully lines up his shot, explaining what he is doing as he does, and lets the arrow fly. It hits the target dead center, much to the surprise and delight of the boys near it. He smiles, walking toward the boys, talking about proper stance and how to most effectively hold a bow. A noise comes from the tree line near the practice venue, and he stops, scanning the woods, blue eyes squinting against the sun. A shadow moves, making its way through the forest behind them. He draws an arrow and lines up the shot, carefully tracking the motion of the hidden creature. Loosing the arrow, he wastes no time and quickly grabs another. The boys spin, watching the arrow fly into the forest, immediately lost among the trees. There is a sudden explosive movement in the undergrowth as a deer erupts from the tree line, running across the edge of the clearing. The boys laugh, turning to joke with the man about his lousy shot. They stop talking, seeing him holding the bow and leading the deer with a nocked arrow. They drop to the ground as he looses his last arrow, which flies true and strikes the deer right behind its shoulder, piercing heart and lungs, and dropping it dead almost immediately. The boys stare at the deer for a few seconds, and then slowly turn to look at the man, newfound respect in their eyes. He smiles again, and breathes a quiet sigh of relief. Yes, let us proceed up the stairs. Most events of the Stronghold occur over the passage of game time. Tax collection, completion of side adventures, and the generation of crafting ingredients. Carouser. What's that story you told again, with the tall fellow and the wee lass? You mean the Amora captain and the Orland cabin boy? What? No, not... Well, hold on. Tell us that one first. Grab a drink, friend. Not much else of worth in this town, says the woman from Thane. Hey, we said we wouldn't mention Thane. Alright. Deslok Negitip. Okay, here we go. You see a man soar through the air, hitting a nearby wall with a nauseating crunch. He doesn't get up. His attacker, a burly, clean-cut warrior with a carnivorous grin, turns and shoves his fist into the stomach of another assailant, removing another from the impromptu brawl. The bar is a whirlwind of elbows, knees, fists, and feet, with no end in sight, and he is in his element. In the corner, three smaller men speak quietly, throwing malicious glances at the larger man in the center. He breaks a chair over a tattooed head, cackling. The trio position themselves in three parts of the room, and with a terse nod they charge. Unfortunately for them, the man sees them coming. Something in his eyes burns brightly, and all three slump to the ground in an agony that's all in their minds. The burly man bows to a room of the unconscious and incapacitated before sauntering out, off-key whistle trailing behind him. Crammed behind the books is a drawing that shows Athos and Lord Eldred in a compromising position. Drywood Part 1, Early Colonial History. Buckle up, boys, we're going to be reading some history. No. Ingest. Please leave me be. I am full to sickness with what I have seen of this place and its people. Locked. Locked and someone's watching? Is that, oh no, maybe it's a really difficult lock. 10 years of dawn. Yoink. Yoink. Oh, there's more of these. You see a long, empty road cutting through 2 large crop fields. The air is silent and the land seems too still for early afternoon. This woman walks slowly on the road, leading a horse, curiously looking around. She seems to sense something wrong, but is unable to discern what it is. She stops, sniffing at the air, her nose high. Her brow crinkles, and she casts about, looking for something. The air is clear. No clouds. She sniffs again, still looking around, confusion clouding her face, mouthing a single word. Fire? She looks out across the fields, her confusion turning to fear. She holds her hand up to block the sun from her eyes and scans the fields again. Not finding what she was looking for, she jumps onto her horse's back, the fear quickly becoming panic. She kicks, sending the horse shooting down the path, which bends around some trees to where the farmhouse should be. She pulls up short, horror now in residence on her face as she stares at the burned and charred mess that used to be her family's home. Tears well in her eyes as she kicks again, racing to the rubble. So whatever happened at the stone things allows you to kind of see the souls of people, and these are the histories, obviously, before they came to these places. Everyone's kind of got them messed up. As you, like that. You see an emaciated boy in chains, black holes for eyes, staring sightlessly at a wall. A man in a dark coat walks in, a scroll and an oddly shaped quill in his hand. The boy glances at him expressionless. Oh yeah. A corpse waiting for animation. The man clucks at him, disapproval clear in his tone. The boy stands, limbs hanging. The man takes the quill and begins to write on the boy's chest, copying sharp, angular symbols from the scroll. The child doesn't flinch as the quill digs into his skin, drawing blood as it goes. The wizard finishes with a flourish and barks some arcane command, setting the symbols to glow dully. The boy cries out, knees hitting the stone hard, his chest burning black and red. Finally, the glow disappears, leaving only hard black scars etched into his skin. He slumps sideways, twitching, eyes facing the back of his skull. The wizard grunts, kicking him on the leg on his way out. The boy lies on the floor until dawn, eyes still black like holes, the twitches growing into convulsive shakes. So is that guy the wizard, or is he the boy? That's the Black Hound. This hound stares intently at the covered window, head cocked as if waiting to hear a particular sound. It looks up when you approach and whines a low note, tail wagging slightly. I could use a dog. Good dog. Here you go. I don't want a dog. The dog whines softly again, head tilting. Well, you can come with me. Maybe we'll find him on the way. Maybe I should take the dog then. Dog's ears perk up. It trots over to you and barks happily. You have gained an item. Oh, it's a quest item. Oh, no, I can throw it at an enemy. These bones are covered in tiny bite marks. A mystery. However could this have come to be? What's up, daughter? Aye. Magnesium. Magnanimous. Touching souls, stealing dolls, stealing dogs. Stealing dogs, touching souls. Did you hear the bells? Bad news, I think. And then I told her, that's not the pistol. Feels like we've been seeing more bandits along the roads of Ha. Right, I gotta go to the tree. Let's talk to this guy first. More fortune tells go through. Try and chase down some of these quests. The crops are blighted. There's a legacy upon us. This place is cursed. Caldara di Berenzi. The squat, distended body of an elderly dwarf woman dangles from a thin, crooked bough that sags at the tug of her noose. The bloated purple flesh of her neck, worn away in patches like moth-eaten linen, bulges over the rope that suspends her, and her lifeless head lolls forward rigidly from one side to the other when the breeze shifts. You perceive a faint glow around her that casts no light on its surroundings, but there is a tepid warmth to it, and you feel somehow that you could reach out and touch it, not with your hands, but with some aspect of yourself that has no worldly dimensions. You take a deep breath, clearing your mind, focusing on your objective. As you exhale, you feel yourself spreading out toward the hanging woman, perceiving all that lies between you and her with new, unfamiliar awareness. Once you have expanded enough to reach her, there is a sudden jolt to your mind, a ringing electric surge of images and words and sounds. Involuntarily you shut your eyes and feel yourself being pulled down to some deeper consciousness in a space occupied only by you and the hanging woman, and when you open them again she is staring at you with eyes clouded in a milky fog, her body still swaying in a wind you no longer feel from a tree that stands planted in a misty void. The woman gives a slow nod of her head, the rope creaking as she does so, and she smiles at you.
Have you come here for me, dear? Or have you gotten lost? Ah, it is both, I think. Yes?
Am I imagining this? How are you able to speak to me? I need to understand something that's happened to me. I think I survived a biowork. Do you know what that would be?
Did you now, dear? My, that would be something, wouldn't it? Could be luck, could certainly be. A storm can be a careless thing. Or maybe it got its hands around your soul but couldn't pick it up. A soul can be heavy if it stayed in one piece through its time. Strong souls, we call them in the trade. Cold, I mean. Called them. Those days are all behind me, no?
Am I imagining this?
No, I think not. A pity that. It would be simpler. A mercy, even. To not have to wander anymore, no? Alas, we are here, you and I. Wherever here may be.
How are you able to speak to me?
Is that what we're doing? Perhaps it just seems that way. Perhaps it is the easiest way for your mind to make sense of it. I think it is a very good choice.
I need to understand something that's happened to me. She nods, a look of pity on her face, as though consoling a child.
The world looks a little different than it used to, is that it? Feels like you're noticing things for the first time that have always been there. You have seen past the shroud. It only takes an instant. Your soul remembers, yes? Remembers how it sees when it leaves the body, like being reminded of a dream you had forgotten. You are a watcher now, and a watcher you will stay.
What's a watcher?
What indeed? Long hours have many animancers spent studying such things. Not I, though. Not I. I'll tell you what I know, though, since fair is fair. And here we are, visiting, you and I, and it reminds me of better times. Souls pass on. Some say through Audra stones, which are the blood veins of the world. They leave the world for a time and are reborn into it, sometimes more than they were before, but usually less and seldom the same. For all souls there is a time where they do not live, yet have not passed on, and those souls roam the world, same as you or I, either living or lost. But no one sees them because they have forgotten how. A watcher sees, though, knows what to look for. And sometimes they know a person just by looking at them, know where they've been in ages past when their bodies were other bodies. See memories even their owner can't recall. A wonder to behold when all goes well. A wonder!
What did you mean when all goes well?
Oh, nothing to be afraid of, I'm sure. It's just much to take in for some. Sometimes there's trouble sleeping or other difficulties.
She smiles at you reassuringly, fanning out a tuft of long whiskers that sprouts from one of her cheeks.
You should see old Merwald. He could tell you much more than I. A watcher just like you. Helped many in his day. Took up in an old keep no one would claim. Not far, not far. Kadnua, beyond the Black Meadow. He will welcome the company.
Katnoa. You said souls break apart over time.
Oh, yes. Entropy. Rimagan's work. We know little of why or how. We lose pieces of ourselves when we die and pick up pieces of others when we are born again, but less than what we lost. We tried to stop it with the animantic sciences, but with little success. No. A very small few resist Rimergan's influence and stay together through some force of defiance, at least for a time. But they all succumb eventually, I think.
I want to know something about you.
I'll bore you to tears, though.
Who are you?
And here I thought you'd come to visit me in particular. Caldara de Baranzi, of the Valian Royal Academy of Animantic Sciences. Not the greatest of their number, but I came here all the same because this was where help was needed.
What happened to you? She laughs, a rasping, choked cackle escaping between rows of buttery yellow teeth, causing your body to bob up and down with each spasm. Seeing your blank expression, she catches herself.
Oh, come now. Such a question. As though the answer were plain as a rope tied for strangling. Allow an old dwarf her last bit of cheer. Well, I came where I was needed, didn't I? Offered my services to Lord Radric for a pittance. A humble pittance. I was to examine the Lord's wife, see why the gods have seen fit to poison her womb. Studied her for months, looked high and low for impurities, tested her valence, the permeability of her essence. Do you know what I found?
Tell me.
Nothing at all. A healthy woman, head to toe, blessed with a beautiful soul. Such a sweet woman, too. Meek, but warm-hearted. A few months' time, and the lord of the house demanded answers. For a time, I told him what he wanted to hear. Oh, yes, my lord. She is riddled with imbalances. I must have time to cure her. As the birth drew near, he grew impatient, as lords do. And this is where I've ended up.
What's an animancer?
A student of the soul. Something so basic, yet so poorly understood. But so many breakthroughs have been made in my lifetime. Had been made. Had been. To hear the locals tell it, we're a gang of soul manglers that preys upon the weak-minded. And the worst of us are. But the best of us? The best? Inspirations. Miracle workers. My parents were soul twins. Miserable before they met, empty inside. It was an animancer who helped one find the other. Turned their lives around. You wouldn't believe the stories. Amnesiacs helped to remember their lives. The suicidal brought back from the brink of oblivion. The elderly afforded extra moments to say their goodbyes. How soon we forget when we're afraid. It's a fascinating science. A fascinating time to be alive in a place like Deerwood that does not control the research, no? I love the Valian Republics for many things, but their recent caution will leave them behind, I fear.
I had other questions.
Of course, dear.
Oh, no, I don't.
Goodbye, my dear. It was lovely visiting.
Caldara closes her eyes and her head slumps forward over the noose, and your surroundings seem to bleed into your vision from some unknown place of waiting. I was granted the crucible of the soul. Aloth looks at you through narrowed eyes. Are you alright? You seemed lost just now. It's like, I've come with XP, bitch. Whoop. I'm a watcher. His arched eyebrows recede into his hood. Well, that is interesting. He gives you a sly grin. And I expect this has something to do with the hooded figure in the ruins, In any case, I appreciate your honesty. Since we're traveling together, it's probably wise for us to share these things. Do you know anything about watchers? Only that they are rare and that they seem to have unique insights into certain soul conditions, he coughs, as you just demonstrated. Let's continue on.
17 and a half.
What's this? Matt Mercer? The smell of pipe smoke, at once earthy and sweet, winds its way into your nostrils. Your eyes trace the smoke to its origin, where you find a broad man with straw-coloured hair leaning against a mossy rock wall, his pipe held to his lips with one meaty hand. He looks you directly in the eye, but the look is not aggressive. He regards you with a peculiar smirk. Ah, yeah.
17 and a half. Well, could be 18, depending on how you count the dwarf woman.
I'm sorry?
The dwarf woman. You were trying to figure out whether to count her as a full person. I think you oughta.
What are you talking about?
The people hanging from the tree. 18 of them. Well, last I counted, anyway.
Olaf frowns. Is that what you people do for fun around here?
Name's Adair. Though to the people around here, might as well be 19.
He looks up
I don't think
I'd
I'd put you much higher than 22, 23 tops. You look like the sort that likes to get involved.
What makes you think I was interested in the dwarf woman? He looks at you a moment, his brow arched, his smirk broadens.
I was smoking over here, saw you staring at her. Twice I refilled my pipe. You never so much as blinked. Your mouth was so slack I took you for a Radric at first.
Do you know what a watch is? I've been out of sorts lately. Impossible, I don't drool half as much.
Careful, friend. Best not use that word round here. Could be any number of Radric bootlickers within earshot. Ciphers, animancers, watchers. Same thing in the eyes of folks around here, Radric especially. They come through these parts all the time with their cures, preying on the desperate. None of them are who they claim to be. Of course, seeing you with that funny look, I'd be halfway inclined to believe you were having some kind of communion with that dwarf. Either case, maybe I'm not 19 after all. No offense.
You think you're going to be hanged? Nah, let's do it.
The town's had it in for me for a long time now. Only fellow who ever stuck up for me, well, he's number 18 up there. My headman on the farm. Used to be my captain during the war.
Why was your headman hanged? Got involved. Radric sent men down here the other day. Said they had it on good authority someone in town was working with Kolsk, plotting Radric's overthrow. Said if he didn't come forward right then and there, they'd hang every last one of us. No one was coming forward, so Swithin, that's my headman, he steps up and says it's him. They took him at his word. He sighs and shakes his head, his eyes fixed on the tree. Bound to happen sooner or later, if not for plotting against Radric, then for protecting me. The war? Saints' War, only one in my lifetime. Fella decides he's the living incarnation of Eothas, overthrows Red Ceres, marches on Drywood, so we gave him a Drywodian hello. What's a Drywodian hello? Drywodian hello.
We blew him up.
He smiles at this, but it is the smile of one recounting a joke for effect rather than enjoyment. Who is Eothas? God of rebirth and redemption, formerly anyhow. Maybe they call him something different where you're from. I had other questions. I got time. What does your town have against you?
Pick the wrong god. That's what it comes down to. Used to be a lot of Aethys worshippers in Gilded Vale. That mess of rocks over there, that was a temple to him, to give you some idea. Then one day, somebody named Widewind shows up on Deerwood's doorstep. Says he's the living flesh of Aethys. Got an army with him. Suddenly, Aethys isn't so popular in these parts. My brother Woden and me, neither of us believed it. No way was that Aethys. He enlisted, then I did too. But, he didn't make it back. After the war, people took to punishing Aethys worshippers, accusing them of treason. Got real ugly, especially after the Legacy started. Folks needed someone to blame. I was safe because I fought, but then this rumor starts that my brother, that he was on the wrong side. And I wasn't so safe anymore. Until my headman stepped in and said they'd have to hang him to get to me. Seems that's no longer a concern. Of course, the townies don't do the hanging these days, but when Radric's men come, they got no problem doing the pointing.
Aloth glances at you and lowers his voice. You can see why I was eager to leave. Who is Kolsk? Someone who's got tired of all the hangings. He's on the run now. Probably will be till they catch him. If you're next to be hanged, what are you still doing here? He gives a half smile. Drinking, mostly. Point of fact, I'm on my way out. Just haven't figured where I'm going yet. Not a whole lot of places out there that don't think Waidwin's legacy started with Waidwin. We could travel together. Where are you headed? Someplace called Caed Noir. Or Seed Noir. There's an old watcher there who might be able to help me.
Seem to remember hearing something about that years ago. He tamed that place. People would seek him out for all kinds of things. Troubles of the soul, questions for the departed. Of course, that was back when you didn't have to say watcher with a hush on your breath. A man such as that, there'd be things I'd want to ask him. Don't know why I never thought of it before. Not sure how I feel about setting out with a stranger, and a strange one at that. But truth be told, you might be the only one in town who wouldn't feel some relief seeing me swing from that tree.
There's a fine reason if I ever heard one.
All right then. Guess I'll do some sightseeing. Long as you're not the one picking the sights.
He tilts his head forward and gives you a pointed look. Let's get going. Got 2 Matt Mercers in my party. Oh yeah. Before we go... Oh, I saw someone go into the temple. Papa says we're not supposed to. Papa says... Are you sure you want to proceed? I do. When an attack scores a hit, it does standard damage. Oh, I've got to level up. Got to do that leveling. Someone's got to level up. This is nice. Okay, level up. Clung. Okay, level 3 wizard. Four points. I can always save points, I guess. Good writing, yeah, it is good writing. Want to play this, not going to lie. GM's right, the place is fucking thick with character. Whoever wrote this did a good job. Oh yeah. And it's not just the particular writing, say, of the characters and the lore and the story and stuff, but the way that the story is revealed. Like you can talk to people and you have the character interactions and you gather the lore. And then there's the events that unfold, like the cutscenes with that thing with the stone and the whatever happened with that. But then it goes into that almost a narrative, like a linear narrative thing when it comes up with the scroll and you read, like it's just pure like story. That it just, and the way because it moves between those different things, it always keeps it interesting. It's kind of like I don't know. That's my sense. Alright, maybe, I don't know if I want to do this one. Okay, there we go. Alright, oh, level 2 flames, level 2 spells. 2, and I get to pick 2. Good times. Now I have to go read through spells. Creates a rebounding ball of fire, inflicting burning damage upon anyone in its path. Creates a scorching ray of flame between the caster and the target, inflicting continual burn damage to the targets and anyone caught in the ray. Creates a lance of pure necrotic energy, causing corrode damage instantly and over time. Creates duplicates of the caster to distract enemies, granting a high deflection bonus which is reduced with each hit taken. I have a level 1 spell of that, obviously a weaker version. I wonder if I can... No, I can't. That's alright. Cloud of heavy fog settles in the mind of those in the area of effect, dulling senses and wits, inflicts penalties to perception, intellect, and resolve. Interesting. Caster becomes able to see an enemy's weaknesses and vulnerabilities as though they are physically tangible, increasing the chance of landing a critical hit. Okay. Infuses the caster with vitality, giving them a temporary increase to maximum endurance and health. Target becomes paralyzed, afflicted with boiling pustules or foul-smelling liquid that erupts from their skin, sickening those nearby. So that one we call the curator favorite, fetid caress. Paralyzed for 10.8 seconds. AoE sickened for 8.1 seconds. I'm locking that one in. But I am crashing. Work for me and I'll stay IP. Okay. Finds abilities that are similar to Guild Wars 2 Mesmer's. Actually considers it so disgusting, Buttonfly. Pedicurus, that's so yeah. Yeah, well that's because there's a couple kinds of defense. So back here in the first one you have two defensive spells. Spirit Shield, which is a straight up damage reduction, and it gives you a bonus to concentration, I guess, for concentration spells. And then I've already picked it. It's the same spell, but it's just weaker. It's like a double, which gives you a bonus to not getting hit. Curse of Blackened Sight. Shrouds the target's vision in total darkness, blinding them. AoE blind. 27 seconds. Eats away at the target's spirit, inflicting corrosive damage and converting that essence into endurance for the caster. Combusting Wounds. Causes enemy wounds in the area of effect to ignite, inflicting additional burn damage over time each time they are wounded. Creates a mystical shield around the caster, suffusing them with bonuses to burn, freeze, corrode, and shock damage. Spins a resilient, vicious web throughout the area of effect, leaving unfortunate victims stuck inside. 4.1 seconds. AoE duration 13.5 seconds. But stuck lasts for 4 seconds. Creates a bizarre and perplexing visual distraction, confusing enemies in the area of effect. Confused for 6.8 seconds. Well, Fetid Carcass is a damage spell. Oh, no, it's not a damage spell, it's a debuff. Paralyzed and sickened. What else should I take? I like these control effects and stuff. There's some defensive ones I haven't really bothered to use so far. Ball of Flame. Ray. Glance. Merciless Gaze. Nah. Fuses Vital Essence. Nope. Yes. Blindness. This seemed pretty cool. Because this means that it buffs the damage everyone else is doing when they land hits. AoE 5 burn damage over time when hit for 27 seconds. It's like a damage buff for the whole party. Seems like CC will become important later. That's true. Well, maybe I should get this Bewildering Spectacle. I don't know what Confused does. I imagine that they like run around and hit each other. The other one was the blind one. Like, it's 27 seconds of blindness, so that must mess up their hit chance. Like, by, I don't know. Yeah, I want, it sounds fun. I'm gonna go with that. I mean, you get to pick more spells, so. Okay. +1 lore, +1 survival. Does everyone else auto level up? That's my impression here. Second level wizard. He hasn't had, I guess, just hasn't had level yet. The first level barbarian's halfway. And all he's done is walk out of the inn. Eater, the drywood farmer. Third level fighter. Let's look at his inventory, I think. See what. You know, I shouldn't have sold all that stuff when I did, because I could have equipped it on people I was gonna pick up. I was like, I'll find stuff as I go. Alright, let's see. So you're a wizard too. The dwarf barbarian. The pit. What does this do? +6 max endurance for 10 seconds, +1 constitution for 150 seconds. Have some milk. It's a one-handed sword. I've got a shield and torch. One crappy torch. Okay, next character, this guy. Okay, he's got some sweet scale Saint's war armor. Properties: pierce proofed, second chance. Cool. Whatever those are. Oh, he's got a bow, a saber. He's got cool stuff. He hasn't got this trash base tier grain. +5 max endurance for 300 seconds. Have some grain. Okay. I don't think this actually provides anything. It's just it just is a helmet worth 10 CP. It's got a hood. Unique Aloth's leather armor. Magic armor, it's enchanted. Doesn't seem like it, yeah. It just doesn't say anything.
I haven't been in here for, must be 5-6 years.
Wait a
Used to
second.
be real nice. Bright. Warm.
A rising sun and the 3 dawn stars, the symbol of Eothas. A man lies resting against the wall, lit by the dim illumination of the fading sconces. He has a gaunt, fox-like aspect, and his face is pale and damp with sweat. One arm is held loosely against his side, sleeves soaked with blood. He gives you an anxious glance as you near, his features twisted with pain. Have a care, if you mean to go in. He casts a quick look towards the doorway to his left. This place is not so empty as I thought. He angles a look up at Ida. Paying your respects, Eothasian? He manages a pained grin. A little risky, isn't it? Think what the townsfolk would say. Safer down here than up there, even with the rats as big as they are. A faint edge of hostility bellies Ida's playful tone. This temple isn't what it used to be, probably for the best. Times being as they are, he groans and shifts position, wincing. I'm no looter, if that's what you're thinking. Not one of his types either. Wharton jerks his chin toward Ida. Just wanted to do some good, I suppose. Got my arm clawed up for it. He regards you wearily. Maybe you'd have better luck. Better luck with what? The man points a finger upwards. These ruins around us used to be a temple of Eothas, the scattered god, a grand temple at that. His worshippers would come from all over the Direwood, from Red Ceres even. Not so much from Red Ceres these days. Until the war, of course. Even then, you'd get some of the stubborn ones, the ones that couldn't get it through their heads that their god was dead and gone. Eothas' requirements are met. Is this really serious? Go on. Once the legacy started, Lord Radric decided he had been too lenient on the Eothasians. What's the name of the god without the bloody Eothasians? Eothasians. He had his people go in and put them to the sword, left them down there, buried under a heap of rock. After that, Redrick ordered the temple sealed. It's been years like that, up until recently. Lord Redrick hopes that if we rededicate the temple to the living god, then we'll be forgiven, and the legacy will end, see? He smiles wryly. The Asians. Okay, I'll be back in one sec. go. Eothasians. Eothasians. After that, Redrick have ordered the temple sealed. It's been years like that up until recently. Lord Redrick hopes that if we eradicate the ready to get the temple. Okay, I read that bit. Okay. But until then, the temple is as you see it, unguarded. That's where you come in. Wharton licks his lips. Those priests, maybe they didn't have a lick of sense between them, but they still didn't deserve to go like that. Chopped down in their god's house. It doesn't sit right with me. If you can get down there, find their remains, maybe we can finally give them a proper burial. Wharton breathes out. No small task. There's coin in it for you, if you need motivating. Aloth's cautious expression softens. A pleasant surprise to see that someone around here has a shred of respect for the dead. I have some questions first. Yes? Why can't you do this yourself? Well, I tried. Only got a short ways in before I got in over my head. Wharton grimaces. I haven't raised a blade in a long time. Turns out it isn't something you can just pick up again, but you look like you can handle yourself? Who are you, anyway? Wharton offers you a weak grin. Name's Wharton. I've lived in a Gilded Vale long enough to remember how grand it used to be. He shrugs and looks away. I used to help the temple sometimes, bring supply. That's all, supplies. Won't Lord Redrick mind us digging around down there? I wouldn't go telling him about it, lingering in these places. It's no good for anyone, but you do this quick and quiet, and we can do right by those priests without raising a fuss. Any chance there's something down there worth a little more than some old bones? Wharton looks around. Probably. Nothing's been through the place since it was sealed up. Well, apart from me, and I didn't touch anything. Only valuable in there. Any valuables in there, you get first crack at them. I only ask that you do this favor for me while you're at it. I have no more questions. I take it you aren't supposed to be in here. Wharton laughs bleakly. Well, I mean to be in and out, nice and quick. I'm not hurting anyone. It's just Lord Redrick's forbidden anyone having anything to do with the scattered god. It'd be a little harder to explain to him than you. It's a good cause, though, isn't it? And you could make some coin in the process. Then by the flame, I owe you a good turn. But listen, the temple's been sealed off for so long, it's crawling with creatures. But if you get past them, the priests would have been down on the lower floor. They'll be there still, if they're anywhere. Those priests had all kinds of secret chambers, switches in the walls, trick sconces, that kind of thing. Keep an eye out, and take care down there. I wouldn't want to have to send someone else after your remains. Having a click. I don't have a thief. I don't have a rogue. I'll wait here by the stairs and keep a lookout. Maybe try to patch myself up some. Oh man, there's so many. Oh, one spider? Come on guys, what is this? Yeah.
Lava beyond seek!
I hope that wasn't like a high level spell he just cast. Initiate's notes. Camping supplies. Alright, let's read the notes. They might be helpful. Actions. Examine. This parchment is relatively intact, but the ink upon it has faded. You can make out a few patches of careful, tidy script. Visitors to the ritual floor. Retrix Obrica says, redemption for even these. All got and struck the largest bell first, rather than second. The rest is illegible. forgot and struck the larger spell first rather than the second. It will be forgot, not orgot.
Navaru, beyond seek!
That great sword. Oh, it's another one. What's that? Another one.
Navaru, beyond seek!
You never forgot something before? Floor got? And the ivory spinner knocked out Alf.
We can't afford another loss like that!
For how long? Okay. It paused it on its own. I was like, what's going on here? Let's examine this. A letter home. Mother, I have asked Brother Eldrick to carry this letter to you, for he travels to New Heomer come morning. With him goes what coin I have, and I hope it will ease the surprise of an unexpected homecoming, for I mean to follow in a few days' time. Our village is much changed, and though I do not wish for you to worry, I do not feel it is safe to remain. I know Retrix Obrica will not approve, but the letter trails off. Well, then they charged in and slaughtered them all. Whoever sat here left in a hurry. Ink is dipped across the scroll, obscuring its contents. The pile of furniture is branded with scorch marks. It all tells a little bit of a story. I gotta change this formation. I don't understand that.
Quickly and quietly.
What did I just do there? Hack up a few spiders. Bigger one.
Curses!
Oh man. Uh-oh. Missed Alf. Hits Alf for 18 pierce damage. Right, he just used the thing. Second win. Not 100% on how the mechanics work. The red-brown smears flake away under the toe of your boot. This wall looks curiously odd.
Let's keep quiet.
I have no one fit for the task of unraveling the secrets of a dungeon. nearby crystal lights the cracked mosaic floor in shades of orange, and at certain angles the metallic symbol beneath your feet gleams gold. As you look on, the air shimmers as if with summer heat. The very dust and air seem to pull together until a thin, glowing mist appears before you. In its rippling gleam you sometimes think you can see the shape of a man, features rendered in broad strokes of air and smoke. Who are you? Your voice sparks movement, the spirit surges with a sudden blazing light, and in the next moment you are somewhere else, your mind assailed with a sudden wave of fear and noise. You are in the chapter hall. Priests and faithful have gathered in a great crowd, spilling into the hall, bodies pressed against you, surging forward to listen. Your own grief is mirrored in the faces around you. Some of the initiates are weeping. Someone has snuffed the candles, and the room is dark, save for the podium, lit from behind. 2 people stand before it, lit in silhouette. A man is shouting, voice so ragged with fear you cannot understand what he says, but the rectrix stands calm, unmoved. Her strength will see you all through these dark times. You feel that hope like a spark behind your ribs. Somewhere behind you, someone begins to sing. The spirit tears itself from you with sudden, dizzying force, and you find yourself back before the ruined altar, swaying. The spirit fades as suddenly as it appeared. The faces of the statue has had most of its features struck off, along with portions of its hands. Defacing of the temple. Bigger creatures this time. What do we got? Skulder whelp. Right. Let's take out the little one first. Oh. Man, Barbarian's getting fucking wrecked. Skulder knocked out Elf. Oh, he's going for the... Alright, so if you lose all your life or your endurance, you go down. Yeah. He is only level 1 though. These other guys are higher level. Scroll of Jolting Touch. What is this? Beloved Land. Poems from Air. Oh, Book of Poetry. Far out. This game's getting real. Alright, let's see. Do I change to him? There we go. I change to him. Wizard level 3. Oh, he's also a lore dude. Yeah, I might switch to like run a different leader, and then try and make the formation a bit better, because I don't. Instead of a straight line, I might be able to play around with it. Stealth. Oh, we'll just keep your thing up nice and high. Oh, okay. I don't even know what spells this guy has. It doesn't matter. Maybe make level 3 fire. That's that. Let's see if he has the defensive. He's got shield. Yeah, he's got the image one. What's the range on this thing? 8 meters. 5 meters. So this has more range. Let's give him a ray. Could give him the blindness one. AoE drains, corrode, damages endurance. Done. Alright, so if we go him and we grab all. No, that didn't work. We need to go. Talents blast. Oh, he's not really a damagey wizard. I mean, he hasn't got high damage. It's not bad, it's just... But he's got strong area of effect duration, relatively speaking. Alright, so we go back to formation. Come on. Oh, I see. Oop. Oh, square, okay. Oh, whoops. Forgot about that. Maybe I'm in like the wrong formation here. Because it's not exactly changing it. So I'm missing something. He's not messing around, casting all the spells. Ooh, a fine sword. To his grace, I write to implore. The rest of this letter is crossed out in several places and then abandoned. Oh, I read that one. sword. Books away. $13 to $19. His saber is $14 to $20. Oh yeah, and this, what is this? Monster of the Dreadfire Archipelago. Okay. Yeah, so now, what am I missing with this? Here we... No? Okay. Ooh, silver. These prayer scrolls are coated in a thick layer of grime and dust. Yeah.
I'll have it in no time. The work of a moment.
Hey, we got it. Crossbow, two-handed. Sure. The Great Western Stag, Book of Verses. Okay, I see. Oh,
lava!
Oh.
Charge!
Stuck in the doorway. A bit late to to use your rage. Vermin have scoured these plates. Their mold still grows in green. Black clumps across the table. Ah, fuck. Low endurance. Oops. Yeah, it was just a
Damn it,
trap.
We gotta take better care of Aloth.
Why can't I do that? Oh, a spell ward amulet, spell defense bonus. And a garnet. It's the bell. 3 bells hang from the stone protrusion that runs along this wall. Years of dust and grime coat the metal. There is one large bell at the center, flanked by 2 smaller ones. Examine the bells. The bells appear to be fully intact. They are made of thick iron and look very heavy. There doesn't appear to be much out of the ordinary about them. Well, the right bell first, but I don't know what comes next. Maybe it's right, middle, left. The bell sounds a strange warbling peal that grows to a painful shrillness before it diminishes to a mournful chime. Right, the left, smaller bell. Ring the left, smaller bell. Maybe I should do large. You heave at the bell, and as it swings back in the other direction, the clapper strikes a low, powerful note against the heavy iron. You feel the ringing in your chest as the sound moves through the ruined halls in a rolling tide. No, it didn't. That was the tricky thing. Now ring the left one. The bell tolls a high piercing note of startling power. The tone echoes merrily through the halls until it seems that a dozen chirping notes ring through the temple. So, what it said was... Oops. Triangle examine. Okay. Visitors to the ritual floor. Retrix Obrica says redemption, I guess, for even these. And then it says Orgot. And I think it says it's meant to say forgot and struck the largest bell first. Like I forgot and struck the largest bell first rather than the second. The rest is illegible. I mean, that's what I was going off. It might not be right, but... Oh, okay. So, yeah, so whatever it is, largest bell is second. It could be left, middle, right, or something like that. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look for more clues. Because, I mean, you can keep ringing. You heave at the bell and it swings back in the other direction. The clapper strikes a low, powerful note against the heavy iron. You feel the ringing in your chest. A strange hush falls upon the room, muting the sound of the bells and the eternal drip of damp stone alike. And then a sudden dissonant toll sounds from the bells, so loud and piercing that you are compelled to cover your ears. And then, at last, silence once more. Nope, I fucked it up. You know the answer? Okay. I'm ready. Doom, 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 doom. Right, middle, left, right. Right. Middle. Left. There's a quiet melodic chime from all three bells before their dissonant voices meet in one powerful rising rush of sound. As the tolling fades, you hear a creak from the direction of the doors as the passage to the lower level swings open. Ooh. I didn't clear out all the rooms up here. We'll get them on the way back. If we get the chance. During combat, an arrow moving out of one character's circle into another indicates the engaged character.
Now, it's strange looking back. All the time I spent here growing up. Never seeing what was coming.
I don't get it. What is this? They just stand in the one formation. Oh, okay. What is this? Oh, it's some sort of Shadow spirit.
Lavaru, be on seek!
Not too tricky. Spirit residue. These guys' endurance is this. I think it's the red bar must be endurance. Oh, I see they've got conditions on them. How do we see what these things mean? Active effects. Wrench shoulder, -2 might, -25% attack speed. Concussion, -2 intellect, -2 resolve. Twisted ankle, -25 reflex. I mean, I can set up a camp down here.
I'll see what I can find.
We were spotted.
Curses!
Ow, low health. Okay. Like actual health? Like what's the deal here? Active effects. Triangle. Dazed. Okay, if I go in here. Quick items. How do I use a quick item? I know how I use a quick item like this. Second wind. Okay. Damage AI script is active. Okay, do damage. These different AI scripts. Got it. Endurance low. Is that the red bar? Just use second wind. This is annoying because it's... Oh, Addy's knocked out.
Let's hop!
It's fine, we got this. Frostbitten or something. Where did that one go? Ooh. Ah, oh shit. Oh, there's a fireball or something. Here we go. Alright, we're gonna have to rest up in here. Oh, Ring of Protection. I'll take all of the turquoise, thank you. Alright, everybody stand over here. we're gonna send in the elf.
I'll have it in no time. The work of a moment.
Flying greatsword. Ooh. Alright. I'm gonna have to rest. But first... inventory. Just the flying greatsword. So it's just, oh no, they're both. Oh. Okay. Alright, so... okay, you go like this. Camp. Doesn't sneak detect traps. It was sneak did detect traps when I was with had that rogue guy. But I'll try it next time.
Not be seen.
I'll try it next time I go to open something. I don't want to open that, I want to open the door. See me other guys just whiffing it here.
La Faru Theon Seek!
The Matt Mercer elf. It has a faster attack speed, I notice. From his stats, I guess. Dude, get your fucking ass back. There we go. Alright. Ooh, there's a nasty one. Alright, let's bust out some spells. Alright, see what this guy's got. Level 1 spell. And should go back to level 2 spells. Level 2 spells. Let's use the confusion spell. Attack something. What happens? Something grazes with additional effect. Ow, just got fucking wrecked. You need a rage, man. And then you need a heal. Phantom knocked out Alf. Damn it. If only Alf was flat. Alright, this is going bad. Let's use a magic missile.
Lava reveal.
Did I just hit Elder? Oh, for fuck's sake. Oh, you already used both of your ones. Alright. Good job for the wizards. Oh shit, time to bust out everything. This guy just got stunned. Oh, he's used all his spells, okay. Okay, he's got nothing. Fuck it. Here we go. It does fucking me. It went down quick. Right, we're gonna... First we're gonna daze. And then we're gonna... Oh, that just killed one of them.
Word.
Oh, just in time. That last daze smacked them good. Alright, so the red is their endurance in battle, and then it's the green must be their like actual life or something. It is not within our natures to forgive. Those who seek redemption seek a long and winding path, a road which takes us down into the very hollows of our soul, and ask us to reflect upon the fractured aspects of ourselves.
My eyes are peeled.
What was that?
Laying low.
That was the door.
Quickly and quietly.
Alright. Okay, so he gets back his class powers, these things, arcane assaults. Same with... So those are worth using every fight. These things.
Easy now.
I'll have it in no time.
Mechanics.
I'll have it in no time.
I only have so many lockpicks. Alright, Edith. 2. Fire away. Wrong one.
Damn!
There we go, that's better. Well, in the temple room there was a different one. Like, those are all standard race. But yeah. And see, these guys have those skills back. The arcane assaults. Very handy. Because they've got a daze on them as well. Good damage, a little bit of crowd control.
I'll see what I can find.
Wait, did I pick up anything important there? Great Western Stag versus Prayer. Crumpled note? You said it's fairly intact, though the parchment stuff has been crumpled. I know that the temple baths boast great healing properties and that your back ails you still. Still, I would ask that if you were to indulge for the greater part of the day, you give over your key to the sanctum to someone else for safekeeping. This is not the first time we have been forced to wait to perform the day's rites, and Retrix Oprica is often too far below to hear our knocking. Okay, so put you. Ah, I have goodies on me. Oh, the cloak takes up the same slot as the amulet. Properties: fortitude, reflex. Alright, we'll take that one. Put this on someone else. Oh, he had a cool cloak on already. Versus Great Western Snag. Crossbow. Okay, here we go. Oh, it's the water. It's flooded.
Easy now.
Still sneaking. Alright, now. Oh wait, can't? Oh no. What's happened to him? So it's freeze damage. Right, this guy needs to actually start attacking. Huh. Alright, let's help this guy out then. Oops. Ah.
Were they wrong?
Attack!
finding something. How do I change... That's the map button. Oh, I can change the speed of things. Slow mode, fast mode. Zoom in, zoom out. Okay. Let's party change. It's that left wheel, right wheel.
My eyes are peeled.
Stealth. Camera. What else? So what's square? Paused. Triangle. Maybe that's I can do. I can also hold some of these buttons. Circle. Square.
I'll see what I can do.
I give up. Oh, it just oozes. Oh yeah. Turquoise. Ooh, other key. Tis what I was expecting. Is that for this room? It's not gonna be for this room. Oh, it's for this room. Ugh. There we go, slow mode. Okay, we'll fast mode.
Oh, this would be good.
These guys are so wrecked. These melee guys.
That's the...
Spell. Oh, down she goes. Okay, guys. Fucking melee guys gotta start moving. I know you might take a hit on the way. We're about to lose our wizard. Come on, take that guy. Second wins all round. And now this guy. He's got nothing. Just keep attacking the Shadow Spirit.
Curses!
Fuck. It's gonna break for a second.
Might need some.
Come on, barbarian. Nothing. Ooze first. Shadow Spirit. Near death. Kill Ooze. Kill him.
I could bed down here.
Full wipe. I had a feeling that's why I saved it at the top of the stairs. And then I was like, okay, just oozes and a spirit. But then the oozes were on the thing, and then merely a suck against the shadows. Alright. So
Nice and quiet.
Pause this. I need you. I need to give you an action. How do I give you an action? Okay, yep. And you.
My eyes are...
Yes, okay.
peeled.
You're an ooze, okay. Start lobbing shit. I also want you to start lobbing shit.
That's it!
Ah, pause, okay. Now. Double it up. Double or nothing.
Get top line!
Another one goes down. Outflow endurance. Oh, those two are both down. Alright, one more of these. Right here. Just bomb. Bomb him.
Attack!
Oh, rest would be good.
Yeah, I'll say. Fuck, you guys are wrecked. I want my ooze first. The still dark waters are reflective as black glass. Okay, let's if we can finally level up. Yeah, oh, I didn't see that. Let's do that. Oh, the big plus, that's what it means. I saw it and I was like, I wonder what that status effect is. Okay. greater frenzy. Accurate carnage. The barbarian wants to line up as if he most savage blows, improving accuracy for secondary attacks from carnage. +5 accuracy. Massive blow, causing additional crits and extra damage on crits. Carnage is not affected. Full attack. Accuracy versus deflection. 25 ability area effect, +7% on hits converted to crits. I have to get ready for bed, retrieve the corpses for great justice. Alright. You do that, I'll do this. Grants Acolyte Radiance. Your effect friendly radius from caster. Friendly AoE plus 9.9% times endurance. Foe AoE, 26 burn damage. Let's just grab one of these.
Quickly and quietly.
Remind me never to help kill my god again.
Uh-oh. The light rises from the bones as you approach. You have a moment to register the faintest image of a standing figure. Features a blur of mist or smoke before the world tilts. It is as if you have stepped sideways and into a new life. You are racing down a flight of stairs, following a weaving circle of torchlight. Your own panting breaths are loud in your ears. Panic and your robes alike foul your steps, and you nearly stumble before a hand reaches out to grip your arm and steady you. A fellow acolyte who smiles encouragement as you reach the bottom. You run around the past and shallow reflection pool that marks the lowest point of the temple, following the dark shapes of the older priests as they led the way toward the narrow hall that leads to the vault. You pass one of the torchbearers as you go. The harsh illumination of the flames reveals a familiar face. For a moment your awareness spans time and identity, and you think Wyrton has joined you here at the bottom of the temple. In the memory, he glances at you for a moment and then looks past at someone else. "I'll come back once they're gone," he's saying. You're being pressed along by the crowd, and his words are growing faint. "Just keep quiet. We can't take any chances." Inside the vault, golden relics gleam like welcoming stars. The memory twists, jarring you loose from one moment and plunging you into another like a flung doll. There is only darkness around you now. You think yourself blinded, until the knowledge settles onto you like a cloak. The candles have all burnt away. You know now, too, with a sick certainty, that nobody is coming. There is a cracking noise, somewhere to your left, a wet, slurping gurgle, and a ragged sob. You cannot see, and so you cannot know which brother or sister has fallen, and which digs after what water a body may provide. You hear, in the faint murmuring to your right, the familiar cadence of prayer, but you no longer recognize the words. You are too tired to do harm. The thirst is like fire within you. Your tongue is thick in your throat, and every breath is a struggle that leeches strength from you. There is a light, they said, at the end of every bout of darkness, but this one does not end. The spirit releases you, and you come back to yourself, in pieces. Your vision clears, and the vault around you is revealed once more, cast in muted hues by the sickly illumination of the soul still drifting like fading fog. Fears waft off the spirit in waves, fraying at your own emotions. I'm sorry, I find some peace in the next life. What's to be afraid of? You're already dead. That lying bastard, I'll see he pays for this. Get away from me, I've had enough of you. The spirit seems to withdraw into itself. You sense less of its fear and confusion as it recedes, but the soul lingers still. No matter how many times they see you staring off at nothing, it doesn't get less weird, or no matter how many times. Gather the remains. You spend a few moments gathering up what you can find of the bones of the priests. It proves a heavy and gruesome burden, but you manage to recover them all. Do you want to take some of the loot, or all of the loot?
I'll have it in no time. The work of a moment.
Gorn's Shear, a flail, one-handed. Converts graze to hit, training fine. What is this? A pry bar. Nice. This stand rocks unsteadily on its base. It seems that the mechanism is broken. Right, man. You're going down, buddy.
Lavaru, be on seek!
Whoa, we got fucking wrecked.
Lavaru, be on seek!
Oh. Alright. Yeah.
La Faru, be on.
Oh shit. Ah.
Love.
Heavy damage, man. 196. The Pilgrim's Lasting Vigil. Properties of resolve. Of resolve or some position +1. Nice. Yay for fast mode. What do we got? Oh, 4. Everybody out.
La Faru.
Were they wrong?
I shall.
Curses!
Attack!
Let's go!
Curses! Nice and quiet.
Oh. Shit, what the fuck is this guy?
Then!
Right. Go. ID. As you step over the circle of candles, you hear a rattling clunk from a wall nearby. A door slides open with a grinding rasp of stone. Ah. The candles flicker gently as you approach. There is a gap above the altar, lined with broken glass, where a mirror may once have been set into the wall.
The candles are still burning. Not bad for a dead god.
What's this all for?
Redemption. And they got this whole right for when you come of age. They take you by the hand and you descend through the temple with your eyes covered, and that's supposed to be like a wicked life. They don't tell you where you're going. I was sweating like crazy when I did mine.
He winks.
They take you to that reflecting pool back there, and you're allowed to look at it so you can face your sins. Then, you come out into this room and they uncover your eyes again and everyone's there to greet you. All your friends and family. It's like you've been redeemed. You light your candle, and it burns with the others. Never had a feeling better than that my whole life.
Aldo's eyes linger on the candles, and he seems for a moment to be a younger man. You reach out to pinch out one of the burning wicks. Smoke rises in a thin trail from the candle. Nothing else appears to happen.
They made him strong enough to survive time, but not thoughtlessness, looks like.
Yeah, well. Curious minds.
It was nice to see those candles still burning. I figured they'd have gone out by now.
Parchment is worn and tattered, and the ink upon it faded. In this time of hardship, one must have just as much faith in ourselves.
Worthy.
Haze fills the air, coalescing steadily into the blur of dust and mist. It gathers into the outlines of what appears to be a dwarf, a shimmering echo that fades in and out of sight. But stronger than sight is the sense, within you, of a powerful energy. It roils and seethes with a grief that seems to spill into your own thoughts, tainting them until the sorrow is your own. Like a crashing wave, the energy surges towards you and into you, and suddenly you are elsewhere. Before you was a brightly lit stone corridor, lined with torches and gleaming crystals. You are running, your footsteps echoing off the stone around you. You forgot to tie your sandals, and they're slipping from your feet, fouling your steps. You're late again. The rite's going to begin without you. Eudemus! Hello, my dude. Welcome. You hear the tolling of a bell, and your spirits lift as you recognize the familiar, warped tone of the right hand, representing the first of the dawn stars to appear in the night sky, and last to fade in the dawn light. You pray fiercely that this is the first of the chimes, and not the last. The light fades, as does the memory, and when your eyes clear, the spirit is gone. I am just wrapping up this quest. Powerful odor of spices rise from one of these dishes. Fire dies and green seeds fill the others. It's just the last little room I saw. I had to come back and get. Just missed the fight. Got to use my charm spell. Okay. Now we confront the man who gave us the quest. Harp on him a little for his deceit. Probably. Yeah, that's not the right way. And see what happens next. There he is.
Well met, friend.
Wharton smiles nervously as you approach. Think I've sorted out the worst of it. Arm's hurting a little less. He hesitates. You were down there a while. Did you find anything? His eyes dart constantly about the ruins. Something you nervous about? No, of course not. Just never good to linger around these places, that's all. Wharton gives you a searching look. Did you find anything? Hand over the bundle of bones. The colour drains from Wharton's face. He takes the bundles from you with trembling hands. You found them then? He stares down at the bones. You have lost an item. I found more than bones. Something valuable, you mean? You can keep whatever you found. I don't want any of it. Nobody's been down below since. Redrick's people have no interest in Ethosian's goods, is my point. They won't miss whatever you take. I'm probably not going to talk very much, cause I'm playing Fortnite. Yes, sure man, that's fine. You don't have to talk. I'm reading anyway, so... You're very nervous for an honest man. Something weighing on your conscience, maybe? Give me one reason I shouldn't cut your throat here and now. Let's try this one. Wharton opens his mouth to protest, but something in your expression stops him. He swallows nervously and looks away. His voice, when he speaks, is small. How did you... How could you betray them? They trusted you. That place is full of shadows, spirits of those you killed. That's not... His eyes... He eyes you fearfully. I didn't kill them. Right up until the end, You don't understand. I tried to help them, I did. Every day. Every single day I went to that temple and I warned them. I told them that they were playing with fire and Redrick wouldn't be patient forever. And every time they'd shrug it off, like I didn't know what I was talking about, like it wasn't costing me coming in to try and help them. I could have been arrested right alongside them. Until League 13 you worked for Redrick. Let's do that. Wharton gives a bleak laugh. Yes, but not anymore. It's been a long time since I held a blade. He hesitates. I knew what was coming. It was their own damn stupidity that kept them in there. I couldn't understand. Every warning I gave, they ignored. The Retrix, she said they'd be reborn. Anyhow, so it didn't matter. He grimaces. So she got what she wanted. Her martyrdom. Redrick ordered us to round them up, lock them in the cells. I convinced them to hide, at least. They have their vault. Full of gold, relics, gold and such, I thought. I thought they could hide in there, and once the guards left, they'd have something to sell for passage out of the drywood back to Ardur. But when I told the men that the priests had already gone, they ordered the temple sealed. I couldn't get in again. Wharton shakes his head. There was nothing I could do. Alder's eyes are wide, disbelieving. Nothing you could do but tell someone, get the town together, organize a rescue. I'd have dug them out with my own hands if I'd known. They were some of the last decent folk left in this hole. Now all we got left is people like you. You could have spoken up, told Redrick the truth. Why did you send me down there? Seems like those priests brought it on themselves. You worthless bastard, you abandoned them to save your skin. Let's go. Why did you send me down there? Because if Lord Redrick means to have the temple cleared, they would have found the bones eventually. They'd know I lied to them. When I said the priests left, and I'd hang. Wharton's shoulders sag. I don't know if Redrick would have killed them. Maybe they'd be languishing in cells now. Maybe they'd be off somewhere in the Empire. I'd have a night's peace. I told you the way of it, Wharton says, his voice rough. I told you what happened. Guess it's your turn now to make a decision. It's not too late to make amends. If I ever see you in Girdland Vale again, you're a dead man. You're a coward, Wharton. But that's no crime. Give me my money and get out of my face. You've escaped justice. I just want the money you promised. The rest is your own business. Money and tell him a coward. Or tell him it's not too late to make amends. And who is this Eothas person that I haven't picked up? Let's amends it. Wharton lets out the breath he was holding. I'm not sure that's true. It's been years now. What am I supposed to do? Bury their bones. Try to lead a better life than you have so far. Let's do that. Wharton looks at the remains. He runs a hand through his hair, letting out another ragged breath. I can do that. I can. I'll lay them to rest. Try and do right by them somehow. Thank you, truly, for what you've done, giving me a second chance. I'll put it to good use. Okay, here we go. Bum. Yes. Let's proceed. I was actually just finishing up that quest and I was gonna call it a night from this game. I've only been at it for like... wow, with a break. 9 hours with a break in between for some dinner. Papa says the temple is cursed. I must be missing some. Alright. Let's just, let's go and save it. Have a rest.
Hail, traveler.
Pesca. I'd like a room, please. Common room. For 0 copper. Alright, I'm gonna save it. I mean, you came to the right channel, Eudemus. You just came at the wrong time. But good luck on Fortnite. Hit the follow button if you want to see more of Pillars of Eternity. Mostly play Crossout. Wow. Yeah, I play Crossout, do Clan Wars. So there'll be some of that tomorrow. But yeah, I just picked up this game, so I'm making my way through it. If you're interested, hit the follow button. But if not, it's good seeing you. Wait. Eudemus is very familiar to me, but then there's a guy called Yeetus Fetus, so maybe I'm getting confused. Yeah, have a look at the... Probably. Ah, yes, you already follow. So, yeah, I have seen you before. Good old Eudemus. Yeah, anyway, good luck on Fortnite. And, yeah, I might see you around. See you next time. Peace!